welcome into Cam's Corner. Today I'm here with Stevenson softball athlete Mack Tobler. Thank you for joining me.
Hi Cam, how are you?
I'm doing well. Mack is in her 4th season here at Stevenson. She's originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She is a utility player on the Mustang softball team. She has also played third base for 2 seasons. So first off, how did you get into playing softball?
Basically, I've always been super into sports ever since I was young, so I was signing up for a bunch of different things. Mainly soccer and softball were my main sports, so I signed up for t-ball when I was young and rec soccer as well. My dad was a college athlete. He played baseball in college, so I think he kind of wanted me to end up playing softball in the long run. I mean, he didn't really care, but I think he definitely wanted me to play softball, and I stuck with rec ball for a long time, and I just really liked the sport, but I was definitely more of a soccer player for most of my life.
Yeah. Do you think that kind of made you become a softball player, just being that acclimated to sports in general? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to play in college. I didn't know what kind of sport, since I am very competitive in most of my aspects of my life. But yeah, definitely competition is something that I've craved and always wanted to be a part of.
Yeah. And you speak of you always wanted to be a college athlete. Why did you choose Stevenson out of all colleges?
I had a different recruiting process, I would say, because I personally have never heard of Stevenson before. Even now, this is my 4th year here, I've never met anyone that's from my area that attended Stevenson. Still, like, no one in my area, they'll be like, oh, Stevenson University, where's that?
Yes.
They're like, is that the one in New Jersey? I'm like, no, that's Stevens. But Stevenson, I had a unique experience because Coach Larry, who is the assistant coach, recruited pretty frequently with me, and he was like, come on a tour, come visit. And I was like, I've never heard of this place. I don't really know what they would have to offer me. And I was pretty set on where I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go where my parents went, which was the Sales University, just because they really loved it there. And I was like, okay, I can go there. I didn't really think too much about it, but I went and took a tour here, and I absolutely fell in love with the campus and everything it had to offer, and I knew that here is where I wanted to go.
Yeah, most definitely. And we have a new facility here at Stevenson, Owings Mills East Campus. What does it mean to you personally for the team to, at first year you played there for the first time? What does it mean to you?
It's pretty cool to have your own facility now. Like, we played at the JCC, the Jewish Community Center, for my first year, and then we came over to the East. And it's pretty cool to have like your own equipment and having more fan support since everything's in the same area. I know like baseball will come up and we'll go watch their games as well. It's pretty cool to have like the whole Stevenson environment around you, but rather than being secluded that like we were at the JCC.
Yeah, I bet. And what is your most memorable experience on the softball team here?
I definitely have a couple, but the first one I could think of is when we were playing my sophomore year. We took a trip up to Virginia to play Randolph-Macon, and they were ranked, I think, 6th in the country at the time, and we ended up beating them. I don't remember the score, but it definitely was a really fun game and pretty cool for our program to be beating a ranked team.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I bet. I've covered a couple teams here at Stevenson, and I think one of the most memorable I've seen when the volleyball program beat a ranked school here this past year. I think that was pretty cool, and I look forward to you guys possibly being able to do that in the upcoming season in the spring. And what is the mindset heading into this spring?
I think our mindset is definitely like playing as a team and togetherness for sure. We have a young group of girls, a lot of freshmen. We graduated a good amount of people, so it's a new team dynamic that we have to develop. I would say togetherness might be the theme of the season. We have to play together to win these big games, and the conference is restarting, honestly. Most big players graduated, and all the teams are very different now. Like most of the teams last year were a lot older, like us. A lot of seniors graduated in the conference. And also losing LVC in our conference moving over to the other conference is going to change a lot of things, considering they were pretty good last year.
Yeah, and you mentioned you losing a lot of key players, the one being Marissa Hewer, the outstanding pitcher here for 5 seasons. What does losing her mean to this program?
Marissa was a great person to play behind. She definitely was an outstanding leader. She was goofy. She was funny. Everyone loved playing with her. But, being part of college, you understand that your players are going to graduate. You're going to have to change. It's a new team every year. And we got lucky to keep Marissa for that extra year on her 5th year. But you have to just grow and evolve. I mean, that's part of college sports.
Yes.
Everyone leaving and establishing new leadership is very important, and that's what we're doing now. Yeah. We have a couple seniors that definitely are stepping up. Danielle Mills and Boz and myself are seniors, and there's only 3 of us, so it's definitely important to figure out who our leaders are and establish that new leadership that fill those shoes of Marissa Hewer.
Yes, and you mentioned to me earlier that you have 11 freshmen on this program. What do you expect out of them going into this year?
They're a pretty strong group. When they came in, they were a little quiet and timid, and I like to see how they grew over the past couple months of fall ball. And I expect a lot of them because there are big shoes to fill. I mean, we graduated our whole infield, and then we graduated some pitchers as well. So we're definitely going to have to see the freshmen step up, and I think they'll be willing to do that. They definitely have grown a lot since I first met them, and in the weight room they've been working really hard too, so that's cool to see. Yeah.
What opponent do you guys think, or you think personally, you guys will have a hard time with this season?
That's a good question. Like I said, the conference definitely is changing a lot. I know York graduated their main pitchers, Messiah as well. Those were our 2 big competitions in LVC, but we'll probably play them at some point just as like another game. But I think we always have a hard time with Messiah. I think there's some kind of like mental block when it comes to playing them. They definitely are beatable, but I don't know. We'll see when the season opens up. Yeah,
we'll see for sure. And being from Philadelphia, you are a big fan of the Eagles and the Phillies.
Yes.
First off with the Phillies, what do you like out of them?
Their environment is so cool. I mean, I've grown up being a Phillies fan. Obviously, all Philly sports fan, very loyal fan base. The Phillies were my favorite from the beginning. My dad and I would go to all the games, and he had season tickets when I was younger, so we would go together. But recently, the stadium, just even during the regular season, has been like absolutely like electric. Like the environment is so cool. Everyone is really into it, and I feel like baseball definitely has been losing that crazy fan base over the years, but Philly still got it going.
Yes.
It's very cool to go to those games and see them be successful. I mean, it would be nice to see them win a World Series, but we'll take our wins where we can get them.
I mean, much better. I'm a fan of the Seattle Mariners, and we haven't had any success in like the 50 years we've been around. So I'm happy to see some teams are having success. But going about the Eagles, they're having a tremendous year. My Seahawks play them in a couple of weeks. I'm very worried. What do you? I mean, do you think there's another Super Bowl? In the bag for them?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, we just capitalize on this one, and I don't think I could personally handle another Philly sports letdown in the next year or so. I would really love for them to pull out a win.
Yes.
Last week they got blown out a little bit, but it's okay. 10-2.
Yep.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
Yeah. So there's only 5 weeks left. You guys have a lot of turnaround. You have Seattle and a couple other bad teams.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But
especially the Cowboys.
Oh yes, yeah. Cowboys are one of the worst.
Yep.
In everyone's opinion, I think. But overall, thank you so much for joining me today. And
no problem.
I wish you and the rest of the softball team a lot of success upcoming season.
Thank you for having me.